Hello everyone, this is Marcy from The Scribbled Word, coming to you today with another process video. I'm going to show you how to make a couple of tags. I'm going to use one of them for my Bible and then also one in my gratitude documented journal. For these tags, I'm mostly going to use watercolor paper, which you see here, and then my watercolors, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, so it's going to be pretty simple. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you a flip through of my gratitude document. All right, that's a tongue twister there. My gratitude documented traveler's notebook. So stay with me until then for some additional ideas. Okay, so here you can see I'm getting out a few different items that I'm thinking about using for these tags. These stamps are from the gratitude kit from last year's Gratitude Documented with Illustrated Faith. And then the smaller stamp set you see is from the Citrus Twist kits. This was from last month's Citrus Twist Faith Box kit for October. And it was really great kit. It had a lot of words that had to do with thankfulness and gratitude. And so I think I'm going to be able to use it a lot in my Gratitude Documented project. So, but here I'm just kind of figuring out what pieces I want to use and getting an idea for where I want to place my stamps. So if you do plan to use stamping like I am here and then use any kind of wet media over the top of it, such as watercolors, you will want to make sure that the ink pad that you use is permanent and waterproof. So what you see me using is the Ranger stamp pad, which is permanent. You can also use StazOn is a pretty popular brand of stamp pads that are also permanent. But if you use something that is more of a pigment ink, that will just sit on top of your paper, and so if you use wet media with that, it will most likely smear your stamp. So you want to be careful when you're stamping and then planning to do any kind of wet media on top of it, that you use the right kind of ink. So here you can see I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to finish off these stamps. I end up adding a little acorn stamp to the bottom of the smaller one here. And I'm a little off camera, but I will fix it eventually. And so you can see that I'm just finding what colors I want to use. I'm trying to match the ephemera pieces that you see up in the upper left-hand corner there. Those are from this year's Gratitude Documented line by Illustrated Faith and Dayspring. And these actually came in my Citrus Twist kit that I got for the month of October. But you can also purchase them from Dayspring if you're interested. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the background in this pink color. And then in a minute I'm going to add some of the light blue to the stamp as well. So as you're watching me do this, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the word thankful. So as I was beginning to prepare my mind for this month, I decided I wanted to take a look at the biblical definition for the word thankful. And so I went ahead and looked it up in Strong's Concordance to find what the original Greek meaning would be for this word. And in the Greek, the word thankful was euchar istheo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but it's Strong's number 2168, and it's pronounced something like eucharisteo. And it comes from two root words. The first root word is the U, or EU, and that's Strong's number 2095 if you're interested in looking it up. And it means well done or good, or it could just mean well. And then the second part of the word is Strong's number 2485. And this is the word charis, and its definition is grace or favor. So both in the Greek word charis, which means grace, and also in the Hebrew word kana, which also means grace, this word of grace or favor had the connotation of God's inclination or extending his goodness and his blessing and even his very self to us, to his people. It was the idea of his reaching out towards us to give us good gifts and to show his love for us. And so I think in this definition, when we look at the root words of good, the you, and also the charis, which is his favor, we can see good favor, and we can see that right in that word of thankfulness is the definition of being mindful of God's good grace or his good favor towards us. And one of my pastors, he used to define grace as the good things that God gives us that we don't deserve. It can also be described as unmerited favor or favor that is not earned. And so as I was thinking about these things and thinking about thankfulness, I think that it's easy for us to forget about God's faithfulness and provision for our lives, or just to take that for granted. I think when we're doing well and also when we're struggling, sometimes we can focus on our struggles, or we can be just expectant of the good things that we have, and we don't really take the time to think about all of the favor that God gives us every day in so many different ways. So you can see me here. I'm getting out a traveler's notebook and some different pieces, and I want to start putting together my gratitude documented journal. So the traveler's notebook that you see here is actually the devotional that came with last year's gratitude documented. I didn't work through it in a traveler's notebook, so I actually got it later in November, and I just did a few entries in my Bible. So this year I wanted to participate more in the gratitude documented challenge. And if you're unfamiliar with that, I know that a number of different people will provide prompts for documenting your gratitude and have different devotionals that are available. This that I'm going through is put out by Illustrated Faith, and you can actually go to the Illustrated Faith website, illustratedfaith.com, and go to their Print and Pray shop, and they have a free download that has all of the daily verses and prompts for daily documenting your gratitude and what you are thankful for in specific areas. So it's a good way to already have that set up so that you don't have to go through the time of looking up the verses and thinking about the specific areas, but it's already done for you. So if you are interested in participating in this challenge, you can go there and get the free printable. So what I'm doing here can be done in any kind of traveler's notebook, and my idea for gratitude documented was that I was going to go through it on a daily basis in my traveler's notebook, and then on specific days where I felt like I had more to say, or I wanted to really get into my Bible and read more of the context of the verses and things like that, I could choose to then take what I was learning and document it in my Bible. So, but the first step was just to get my traveler's notebook ready. So here you can see I'm just gluing in one of the tags that I made and using different bits of the gratitude documented line from Illustrated Faith, these little ephemera pieces. And then here I'm showing you my little Psalms book, and I'm going to use the other tag that I made. So here's the free printout that you can get from Illustrated Faith, and you can see that on day 24, I think, they talk about prayer, and Psalms 88 was the verse that was going to be used for this. So I was going to use this larger tag that I made to place in my Bible, so when I get to that day I can go ahead and document my thankfulness for prayer on the back side of this tag. So this is what is called a tip-in, and that's basically just when you add something to your Bible that can be flipped open almost like a page. And so I'm going to put this little tab on one side of the tag, and then you'll see me attach the tag into my Bible. And the way that I usually do it is just by using washi tape. You can get more permanent adhesives if you so desire, but I feel like washi tape is adequate and it's simpler. And so I'm just deciding what different washi tapes I want to use to add a little bit extra to my page. I have this really sparkly washi tape that I got recently that I think is really fun. So I'm going to use that to anchor the bottom of the page here, and then I'm going to use the pink with the little gold speckles also, and then the pink one is the one I'll use to affix the tag, which you'll see me do in a minute. So as you watch me finish this up, I also wanted to mention that I will put in the description of this video some of the links to some of the things that I've talked about here if you're interested, and then I'll also try to put the dimensions for these two tags in case you don't have a tag that you can use as a pattern. I'll go ahead and put those dimensions so that you can make your own tag if you want to. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. So in just a minute I'm going to show you a couple other tags I made using the stamps from the Citrus Twist kits, and you'll see one of these in the flip through of my Traveler's Notebook that I'm going to show you here. So this is my Traveler's Notebook. This cover that you see is from Webster's Pages. If you're interested, I actually purchased it from Hobby Lobby. And here's the first page. This is the one that I made with the tag that I showed you, and this is basically just an opening page. And then the first day is documenting our thankfulness for God the Father. And so I just decorated it with basically things that I had. I didn't purchase a lot for this apart from the Citrus Twist devotional kit that I had, and then I did use some printables that I got from the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray shop. Other than that, I mostly just used things that I had, and one idea that I had for this to make it a little simpler was that I went ahead and looked up all of the Bible verses that were given for each day and printed those off so that I could just have them there in my Traveler's Notebook already. So when I came to that day, I already had the verse there and I didn't have to go searching for it in my Bible. I printed off most of them on clear sticker paper so that, like you can see here in this one, that you can see the picture through the verse that's there on the left. And here I just have a journaling card that I'm going to go ahead and document my thankfulness on. So I haven't filled any of this out, I've just gotten it ready so when it comes to the day that I'm doing a particular prompt, I can go to that page and I can easily document it in my Traveler's Notebook. And this is just the first 12 days, so I still have more to go, but I wanted to get a jump start on it, and this is an idea for you if maybe you don't have time every day to work on something like this, but you can go ahead and get several days done ahead of time so that it's all prepared for you on those days when you might be busier. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please feel free to subscribe. Thank you.